For as long as I can remember, I've been different. I saw, heard, and felt what others didn't. I learned that I was given these abilities to help others. I'm a spiritual medium. Death is my gift. My job? To connect you to your loved ones in spirit. Come join me on the incredible journey. I'm Pamela Theresa, medium in the raw. I have been there in the moment when the news and the call to me was delivered of a loved one's passing. This is the moment that changes everything. My connection to the spirit world does not erase my physical, human reaction to this separation. My awareness is now that my loved one has left the physical and entered into the eternal stream of being. Life as I knew it is no longer. They take with them a piece of me, a piece of my heart, and a piece of my soul. Once again, I am now one who walks in both worlds, that of the physical and the one that exists, the spiritual world. Because if I want to continue a relationship, it now has to be done through the veil. Each and every time someone I love has left the physical world, I become more attuned to the assistance of the spiritual world, and my life is never the same. I stand in amazement of the way they still connect. They communicate, but in a heavenly voice. They are very organized, insightful, and happy. I am joyful for their universal being, but I am sad that it has to be this way. Although I have a natural connection to the spirit world, I'm not escape of this grief. I feel it, I know it, and I live it. I miss my loved one's physical touch. I miss the hugs and laughter of the physical. They tell me all of the time that their journey of the physical was complete, and that I must complete my journey through this life as well. Although I understand and accept their words, and they do speak truth, it does not erase my grief of losing the physical touch and companionship. They filled my life, and they were a part of my life, and now I must learn to live with them in a different way. The way of spirit. The purpose of me sharing my work as a medium is to bring to you the gift of spirit, and that you too can learn to live in a different way. The way of spirit. This belongs to all of us.
A lot of people have to experience the first holiday season without a loved one, and it's particularly hard for them for the first time especially. What would you have to say to somebody who's experiencing the holidays for the first time without a recently departed loved one?
What I say is you just have to get through it, because it's very painful. It's just really is. There's no band-aid for it. It's just one of those things you have to live through. It's kind of like, in a weird way, but not the same, but when you're pregnant and it's time to give birth, the only way to have the baby is to have the baby, and you got to get through it. You get through the holidays, and it's a very dark time. Christmas, Thanksgiving, birthdays, anniversaries, the first anniversary of the death, it just takes your breath away. I try to help people understand that their loved one's there with them, but and I know that they're with them, and I know they're with me, but they're not with us in the physical anymore, so it's just hard. There's no way to fix it, especially the first holiday. It's just hard. And then once you get through the first holiday, you will have learned that you can get through it. The next holiday, they're still there in your memory, but it's not as hard. So to sum it up, time. You just got to give yourself time, and it's something that I myself have experienced. I have people close to me that have experienced, and I wish I could take the pain away. That's one thing that you just can't take away. I know that kind of sucks, but
Time heals all wounds.
well, it's experiences in between that helps to heal, because then that way you know that you got through it again. You got through another day. It's a feeling that just cannot be explained when you're sitting in a holiday without your loved one, especially the first time. It's just surreal. Just really is. I know it sounds so depressing, but we just have to get strong and get through it and try to keep yourself busy. That's what I would say. Try to do things with other people, create new memories. Just try not to go into the darkness as much as possible, as far as the grief, as far as the loneliness, as far as the missing them. You're aware of it, but keep an eye on it. If you start falling and really going into a deep depression, take a step back and say, wait a minute, okay, this is going to be hard to get out of. Let's see, what can I do? Change it up a little bit, create new traditions. Integrate the traditions from before into some new traditions. Create new memories. Remember them. Do something in their name. Do something of benefit to get yourself through it. It's an ugly remembering that they're no longer with us in the physical, especially holidays. So that's a toughie. It's a toughie. It's a toughie. It's a toughie. The hardest time, I'd say. That's so depressing, isn't it? I have no way else to say it. It's the truth. We can't sugarcoat this. My journey through life as a medium is truly blessed with the privilege of being able to communicate and connect many with their loved ones who are now in spirit. Today was a blessed day. I had the pleasure of once again meeting with a beautiful family whose loved one came through for them at the Alhambra. Do you have that gold necklace that has the bigger chains on it? Okay.
This was his. I gave the first gift I ever gave to him. It's an Egyptian ankh.
Okay.
And on the back, I engraved it forever.
All right. Well, I want you to know that I can't see a damn thing, so I did not see that there. Okay.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Okay, see, the language of spirit is not the same as our language. So it's intense, and it's huge, and it's big, and it's godlike. So I have to translate what he's giving to me, bring it to you. So that's part of the complication. The second grade is so much of the physical. It makes sense for the mental mind, for the physical mind. Working with them, it's like seeing a poem and sitting back and trying to go into, he's showing me poetry again. Who's the one that likes the poetry a lot? He's showing me poetry, poems.
I've written a couple of poems.
He's showing me poems. Okay, so he says, go back to your poems. It's of heart, it's of soul, it's of spirit. It's not the words exactly. He said, so when you read it, and then your impression of it will be different each and every time. Also, too, when you go back to that poem, you will have lived life and grown, and you will see more of insight within the poem. So he's showing me these. Also, too, well, he brings up New Orleans. Okay, so that's important.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like it when people just sit around doing nothing.
That's why he likes us.
Okay, so he that's his personality. That's what he's talking about. He said, my life, I'm very proud. I look at my life with great amount of gratitude in that I just kept going. I had to have mission and purpose. I had to have it. Even if it was raking the yard, it was specific. See? So that's what he brings up.
Well, he became my laundryman after he
Okay.
retired.
Okay.
And he took great pride in the fact that he had learned to do the laundry. And if he'd hear the dryer going, he'd search me down in the house and say, what are you doing? What do you have in the dryer? And I'd say, just some throw rocks. I didn't do any laundry, I swear.
But that was his mission and purpose, also because he always had to, he was purpose-filled. He really did have a purpose-driven life. No matter what he did,
Yes.
he wanted to do it.
He was wonderful at his job. Wonderful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But he was still alive and breathing and doing. He did not ever want to think in the terms of retirement.
That's right. He hated retirement.
Yes,
he
this
really
is what he's
did.
saying. That word was like
It was hard.
bad
Very,
word.
very,
bad
very
word.
hard.
And so therefore he's like, I took it upon myself to not. It wasn't as sudden as you think. He said that's so important for them to get. Because he had gone to the doctors.
Yes.
Okay, that's what he's showing me.
Okay, that's
That's where the confusion is.
Okay, so he had gone to the doctors, and he said, but then he didn't want to go back.
See, that's it.
Okay, so he's like, you know, they're not helping me. This is what he's talking about. So he'd gone, go back. Also, too, he says, go back 8 weeks. He's all about the numbers. You notice with him, he's giving numbers and random and such like that.
Great mathematician.
Okay, so it's hard to keep your mind with his because now, okay, he's him times a lot.
Yeah.
So with this universal sight, so the soul powers the body, so that which we're naturally gifted at, well, we have it off the charts when we leave and when we are in universal. So he's very tricky to kind of keep up with here. So don't feel, so that'll be one of his trademarks, where you'll know he's around, where your mind starts going, what, I'm confused. This is him. He's like, he's going back to also 8 weeks before, say 2 months before. So he's going back a little further, and he's talking about his physical experience and that what was going on with him. He's telling me that he had gone to the doctor. Seems like it was supposed to be a regular thing.
That's right.
And
it
then,
wasn't for anything specific.
But that's what he put out front for y'all.
Yeah. I see.
They didn't pick anything up. So he's like, oh.
He never wanted them to. See, he was the type of person, he hated doctors, and so he had to go.
Yeah.
But then he wouldn't really tell them anything.
Yeah,
You know,
but he
was
felt like
hoping they wouldn't find
okay,
anything.
hello, no, and it's not that. It's like he's more of the show me. I know
Oh, well,
what's
that's
going on
true.
with my body. He's like, show me. I want to see. He's heavy on validations. He wants to have
Yeah.
evidence, physical evidence. Is what
Yeah.
he's talking about. So he went a couple months before his passing, deliberately seeing if they could pick up on it. So thus, then he's like, well, I'm not going back. They're not doing their job. He had the opinion of, I shouldn't have to do their job for them. And so that's what was going on inside of him. So it was, he knew something was wrong.
I think he did. I think he was worried that something was wrong because he'd had this horrible gas for so long, and many mornings.
But he's talking about too where his left vision had been a little messed up, to where his
Yes?
Well, when we came down here 6 years ago, going on 6 years ago, and he had to get his Florida driver's license, he had never, worn glasses, and was very proud of his age and never worn glasses. Well, at the driver's license place, when he went to have the eye test, his left eye flunked.
Okay, yeah. And that's
And
what
he
he's
was
talking
very,
about.
very upset
Yes.
about it.
Okay, yes, okay. So, woohoo. Did you accidentally put his glasses on one time?
Yes.
He's talking about that?
Yes.
Okay,
For the
it's so
longest time,
funny.
we had each other's glasses and didn't know it.
After our session, we conducted a live EVP session for Karen and Ashley with the hope that they would hear the voice of Eddie, Karen's recently departed husband. This is unlike the EVPs you would hear in local haunts, as we capture the voices of earthbound spirits. This is the voice of a fully transitioned heavenly spirit, Eddie.
Do you want to talk to him?
I want to hear your voice, baby. I want to hear your voice, baby.
No. Right after we talk to him.
I want to hear your voice, baby.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
I want to hear your voice, baby. I want to hear your voice, baby. I want to hear your voice, baby. It's like a little breath.
Yeah.
But yet he is speaking, but it's just the way we pick it up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you'll
That's
recognize his tone.
Let me ask you a question. Is it kind of like just another dimension?
Yes.
I mean, rather like we
No
kind
different than what
of
we
we
are.
automatically go like this, but is it maybe not that, but maybe here, but another dimension?
Exactly. Remember in the beginning where we're talking about realms? The realms exist.
Yes.
And there, remember the beginning we read on that?
So the idea of heaven is kind of not.
Well, it's hard because, I even just trying to share this experience with people, they're like, and it's so, I'm a skeptical person, and I think it's a little naive to think that you just read a book, and if you follow the book that you're perfect and you go, and everybody else is going to burn in hell. Like, I find that so
You want to know what hell is?
bubble-like.
This is hell.
Ah.
This is it.
Eddie and I always said that.
This is hell. So there's no hell.
What happens to bad people?
They transition and realize what the hell they did.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just nothing more
It's an
than
experience.
self-realization.
Now they come to Jesus meeting.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see your life review.
And then everybody up there becomes good.
Yeah.
No, not becomes. We are. We simply are. We're here to experience. It's neither bad nor good. It simply is. This is hell. So there's.
Yeah.
Eddie and I always said that.
This is hell. So there's no.
You're right.
What did you say?
boy, was that loud.
You're right. He says you're right.
So there's no. 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 So there's no hell.
Eddie and I always said that.
This is hell. So
It was right before that he said you're right when I was talking.
Boy, you got to hear this.
it's that.
He said you're right. Clear as
share
day.
this experience with people, they're like, and it's so, I'm a skeptical person, and I think it's a little naive to think that you just read a book, and if you follow the book that you're perfect and you go, and everybody else is going to burn in hell. Like, I find that so,
You want to know what hell is?
like,
This is hell. This is it.
Eddie and I always said that.
This is hell. So there's.
You're right.
Isn't that crazy?
That is so crazy.
No, it's real.
I mean, it's not a click. It's not a. It's a.
Yes.
Oh my God.
what came through, and that's the ankh you're
Yes.
wearing there, the one that
That's the
you
gold
talked
necklace,
about.
yes.
That's the one the first thing that he gave you, or you gave
That
him?
I ever gave him. It got imprinted on the back forever, and it was.
And that she couldn't see that
No,
from the
she
stage.
couldn't.
But
That's
that was-
what, I mean, it just, no matter what else she said that night to us, you know, when she said that, you know, nobody would have known except him. That's the thing, is it's not just information that's being given to us, but it's said in such a way that you know it is his words. These are his words. This is exactly the way he would talk and he would phrase things. Exactly the way, in some instances, that he had in the past phrased things. And so I live here with absolutely no doubt that my husband's soul has been communicating in this room and does so through Pamela. And to be able to now to even hear his voice very subtly, and like Pamela said, it's going to take a while for your ear to get attuned to it. But this last time when he said, "That's right," I mean, you know, you just want to fall off a chair. There's no easier way to see it.
It's amazing because you, through life, have the opportunity to touch so many people if you look at life that way. And it's amazing when I've always thought of the world being so much energy, but now it just opens my eyes to an extremely different perception on the world. And you know, I think that this moment is a beautiful thing, and I think people should be open to.
The thing that is so wonderful to me, though, and I know to Ashley also, is to know that he hasn't left us. Understanding the roles even better now, because he has the universal consciousness in his head and can look at things now from a more rounded viewpoint than he did when he was walking this plane. And so now the help and the assistance and the guidance that he gives us now is even better, because he sees now, you know, what he did wrong, and now he can change the way he does things, and he's got all these other souls up there helping him, that their interest is to try, you know, for them to help us and get us through our day-to-day problems. It is just, I wish I could do a commercial saying to people, you need to do this. You need to come and do this. It is the best experience you will ever have in your life.